welcome to episode number 180 on OnEBoard Chat. We are talking about artificial intelligence in SEO, and our host is Molly. Welcome, everyone. Excuse me once again. We are with Peggy Bob, and our live chat is monitored, but that's how live events start. It's 180, but still I have a tab open. Sorry.
It's okay.
Thank you. Molly, please introduce yourself and the topic.
Absolutely. So I first learned about artificial intelligence back in 2018, and it was a fairly new subject to me. I really didn't know anything about artificial intelligence at all until Google started integrating it with SEO. And I thought, wow, that's neat. And so I've been in the SEO world for a little over 15 years, and I found it fascinating that they would integrate artificial intelligence with search engine optimization. And over the last few years, I've been able to use artificial intelligence in several different ways to help with SEO efforts. So just to quickly explain what AI is, it stands for artificial intelligence, and SEO stands for search engine optimization. So during my career, I've had several clients ask me for help with SEO. And I thought, well, if this is going to be the new trend, then this is something I probably better study up on and see how I can utilize it to benefit my clients' efforts. And so some of the things that I've been able to utilize AI with is enhanced keyword research, content creation, personalization, improving search rankings, and predictive analysis. So one of the main components of SEO is being able to integrate custom coding. And so when I found out about AI, I was like, let me see how I can utilize this to help with keyword research, to help with content creation, to help with SEO coding. And I've actually been able to utilize artificial intelligence to actually come up with custom meta properties that ties a business not only locally, but nationally and internationally. And I was able to do this with ChatGPT. So, for example, a lot of small businesses use Google Business Profiles. And I thought, wouldn't it be neat if somehow I could tie in a Google Business Profile with a website? And so a couple of lines of coding that I came up with actually integrates a Google Business Profile CID and BID to where when Google indexes a website, they actually pick up these custom lines of code. And through some A/B testing, I realized that by including this additional information actually helped with SEO efforts, because the more information you can share with Google about a business and a website, the better chance they get to rank. So I would ask for my panelists today, what's your level of comfort with AI SEO? Have you ever heard of it? Have you ever used it? What are your thoughts?
Well, I'm using it for my reports with clients, and I use Google Analytics. I mostly use Google Search Console, and the highlights there are very important for the content creation. I find them useful and accelerating to the clients who create content and have to make informed choices. And well, I like the graphs, the insights. There's so much, especially on YouTube. It's a whole other universe of analysis that's pretty very much useful. But I haven't used yet any AI tool. Except for content creation, we mostly use Notebook LM in our group here, and we are delighted, giving credit, and super happy to enhance our descriptions, our articles, our data analysis for some specific topics. So for me, that's that. I cannot qualify, maybe average. I was previously qualifying for professional, but since I didn't advance yet with artificial intelligence analysis, Well, I have to catch up a bit.
So I wanted to mention one thing that I found these sort of generative AI text tools useful for is sort of generating related ideas, related terminology, because you know, the AI, it's not really intelligent, right? It's basically scooped up information from all across the internet. But the advantage of that is that it sees how people are discussing various things and the terminology that people use and so forth. So you can use it to say, oh, what are possible titles or descriptions for various things? And it's more, I think my feeling is that this is more likely to suggest things in a way it feels kind of generic, but on the other hand, generic is what people search for. So I think it's useful in that sense. And I'm just going to interrupt really quickly here to say hello to everyone in the live chat today. I see Craig and Bridget there and Mark. Thank you so much for joining us live. And if you have questions or comments, I can relay them inside the meeting here.
Okay, let me add my AI experience, which is probably reflective of most people. I'm big into photography, and I don't know if you folks know it, but most of Photoshop is all AI. Whenever you mask something or edit something, there's algorithms in there, generative, if you're generating photos or actually, again, processing. There's AI is vastly involved in that process. And when I do my website, I don't directly use AI. It's more or less like organizations like Yoast are telling me that, hey man, you want to bump up your SEO, you need to do, they have a checklist of things that you need to do, you know, passive versus active voice, keywords, key phrases, titles. That's all I think, you know, behind the facade, and you don't even realize you're using AI. I'm guessing that's pretty normal, isn't it, Molly?
Yeah, there's several different tools out there that people can leverage to use artificial intelligence with SEO. I'm a particular fan of ChatGPT. I found it's very effective in coming up with title tags, description tags, keyword research. That's a big one for me. Back in the day before AI, I would spend hours, hours doing keyword research for people, for clients of mine. And now I can go to ChatGPT and say, hey, I want you to write me a long tail keyword list of 50 long tail keywords. And it will literally generate it within minutes. One of the things I always recommend with anything artificial intelligence is always fact check, always double check any results that come through, just to make sure that any content that's created is relevant to what you're doing. One of the other things that I think is important with AI SEO is making sure that whenever you use the prompt to say, hey, I want you to come up with a title tag, it needs to be 69 characters or less. So that's just one of the steadfast rules on SEO. There's certain character limits for title tags, for description tags. So whenever you do that prompt, if you have that knowledge, say, hey, I want you to write a description tag that's 155 characters or less, right? So I think that's part of the benefit of having an SEO background and being able to use those prompts in order to make sure that those results are within Google's guidelines. Additionally, I'm also a big fan of using DALL-E. That's another part of ChatGPT. It's more of a visual editor. I've had several clients that did not have logos. They had no branding at all. And I was actually able to come up with some really neat graphics to use for those clients. So I think, you know, the sky's the limit, really. Like I was mentioning earlier, using AI for custom SEO coding is very interesting to me. I think it's a field that's relatively new. It's expanding, and with all the new tools, the Gemini and Notebook LLM, and just all the different tools that are available, it's just very interesting to me how quickly AI SEO is growing. I just know from my perspective in the world of SEO, things change every day. Algorithms change, the helpful content update. It's always updating. And one of the things I've leveraged AI is to help make sure that my clients are within those guidelines, right? So looking at metrics, looking at Google Search Console, looking at Core Web Vitals, taking that information, leveraging it, and then using artificial intelligence to make it better.
Hey, Molly, I got a question.
Yeah.
You know, when you're whipping out a list of keywords, are you directing AI to content? You know, basically saying that, hey, this is a 960 words essay I just wrote. Can you, or do you just prompt ChatGPT and say that, hey, I want keywords for this theme?
That's a great question. So to answer your question, both, right? So sometimes I'll go in, I might be working on a Google Ads campaign and it might be a niche market and I really don't have any insight as to the market. For example, one of the campaigns I did was for a data scientist assessment company. And as you can imagine, there's not a lot of people searching for data scientist assessments. Primarily their business was to sell these assessments to human resources for large corporations who were looking for data scientists. And so when I looked at the initial campaign, it didn't make any sense to me at all. And so I actually went to ChatGPT and I said, hey, I want you to write 50 keywords relevant to these 4 different data scientist assessments. And it generated it literally within minutes. And from that, like Nina was saying, it really goes out on the World Wide Web and it gathers all this information that normally it would take you hours to consume. And in addition to that, I've actually used ChatGPT to come up with content, like write me 3 paragraphs about data scientist assessments. Otherwise, information I wouldn't know. One of the things I will say, it's a recent announcement. A couple weeks ago, ChatGPT announced Search GPT, which is another build, if you will, on top of the original ChatGPT model. But what I found is that it is actually including links, whereas before it was not, which is more relevant to me because then I can say, oh, okay, well, let me check out these links, which again, that's another layer on top of SEO that we didn't have before, because now that ChatGPT has SearchGPT, you're getting those websites that I've referenced in those articles are getting more traffic. And one of the things I'm curious about is Google ever going to include any type of metrics on, hey, was this search done on Google or was this search done on ChatGPT? I don't know.
Yeah.
So
when you look at your analytics, there's no refer from those things. Is that correct? Where you can't see the referring links from Gemini?
Right. So in Google Analytics, it primarily uses the GA4 tag. So most people aren't using UA anymore. They're using GA4. And within those, it will come up with a search terms report. So it will catalog what search terms people are typing into Google to find somebody's website, but it does not reference website links. And that's what I find so interesting about the Search GPT is it does. And yeah, I mean, in terms of analyzing that data, I would love to see Google add some type of metric in Core Web Vitals that actually tracks, hey, this traffic came from ChatGPT and not Google.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, so
I believe it will. In my opinion, it will start showing, because I heard Google starting to specify search on Google search and search on other search engines. So it's not already like before the song monopoly. Things changed. Yeah, and because I started talking, please everyone take the poll. It's Molly is asking what is our level of using artificial intelligence in SEO, you can choose from yes, no, maybe, and learn more on our community tab on X and on LinkedIn. Please take the poll. I have a quick question about overviews, because we still don't have them here in Europe, at least in my country. So I'm curious, how did that evolve in recent months?
That's a great question. So AI Overviews has been available in the US for some time now. It is a heated debate with SEO and the results from AI Overviews. A lot of SEOs are concerned that the results that are coming from AI Overviews are not entirely 100% correct. Other SEOs are concerned because some of the results are spammy. Some of them aren't relevant. I mean, it's just they're not relevant.
Do you have a quick tip about how to rank our website, for example, our OnEBoard blog on overviews? Is there a magic how we can rank there?
I wouldn't say there's any magic right now. Primarily, it's my understanding that AI Overviews is a cumulative tool that basically goes out and grabs information on the web, but it's not perfect yet. There's been a lot of SEOs doing case studies on AI Overviews and just the results that they produce.
Hey, Molly.
Please, Bob, ask your question, because I was kind of moving in front of you.
No, it's all right. No, in fact, hey, Molly, the way you've been talking is that, or the way I think this is kind of confusing for me and for maybe most folks, is that when we talk about AI, each of these platforms, the AI is different. So it's like a Ford Motor Company makes a Mustang, makes a variety of different vehicles, and AI is kind of like that too. That when you talk about AI having search capabilities, and then another AI under that same umbrella doesn't. So is that correct? I mean, because even with Google, when you're going on there, it says Gemini, but it doesn't say Gemini what, unless it's like Notebook LM, where it's, it has different capabilities. I guess that's what I'm hinting at, but it's not definitive as to what version you're using at times. They're plugging it into different things, like under Google Docs, you have Gemini. What are its capabilities there? Under Notebook, it seems like it has additional capabilities.
Right. So each different AI tool has different capabilities. It's really a landscape that's transforming. It's literally changing every day. And you're absolutely correct. Gemini has capabilities that maybe ChatGPT doesn't, and vice versa. SearchGPT may have capabilities that Gemini doesn't have. So it's really an evolving process. And one of those things that all I can recommend is just staying on top of the latest news. It literally changes every day. And I want to just kind of go over an example of like why I even became interested in AI SEO. So a while back, I learned about LaMDA, and I was fortunate enough to see a demo. And the demo that they provided was mind-blowing. It literally took search for local businesses to a next level. And when I saw that demonstration, I was like, I need to do something about this, because this is going to impact my customers. This is going to impact my clients. And so that's when I got the idea to start doing custom SEO coding. And one of the things I think that's important to remember is that in the area of search engine optimization, it's all about relevancy. It's all about the user experience. And if we can leverage AI to make that user experience more beneficial, to more informational, then it's going to benefit the client at the end of the day. Hey, Peggy, you have a question?
I didn't want to interrupt you. So I just wanted to bring in something from the live chat. Craig says, I use AI for search, but I don't go to websites to get my information anymore if I get the answer from AI. And to me, that's the big concern of web publishers everywhere, that there are these no-click results where you get an AI overview from ChatGPT, from Google, from wherever, and nobody actually goes to the website.
Huh. Wow.
How, as someone who, is working on websites that I assume your clients want people to visit, how are you dealing with that?
Yeah, so I think that's one of the reasons why ChatGPT came up with SearchGPT, is because of that reason right there. I pretty much, when I advise my clients, I just make them aware that this is a function that's out there. Most of my clients really don't understand how AI SEO works. And so I just try to explain to them that right now, for me anyways, it's a tool that helps me generate content, generate keywords, do custom coding. But in the long run, at the end of the day, I think that is a major concern. And I think that's one of the issues with AI overviews, is that right there is, people are getting an overview, right, of whatever topic they're searching, but they're not necessarily clicking on any of the links, which is preventing traffic to this website. So I'm curious to see how Google handles that in the future. But like I said, right now there's a lot of mixed opinions about AI overviews, just because it's not a perfect science yet.
Wouldn't images in a website help negate that, though? Like if you really wanted to know something, you'd have to look at it. So if you were to take your web page or whatever you're posting and then embed a lot of visuals, wouldn't that kind of defeat that kind of activity?
Not necessarily, because the way a search engine consumes images is there's something known as an alt tag. So this is a tag that's on the back end of the website, right, that basically identifies I use this example. So say you have a picture of a kitty cat. So an SEO, what they're going to do is they're going to go on the back end of that, and they're going to say, this is a picture of a white kitty cat. So when Google indexes that page, a search engine doesn't read a web page like a human does. It literally, all it looks at is the back end coding. So when it sees that alt tag, Google goes, oh, it's a picture of a kitty cat. Now that brings up another question, or another concern, is using AI images versus regular images, say from a photographer. So with that, I always put this image was AI generated, just to let Google know that this is not an original photo, or this is not an original painting, or this is not an original graphic, right? Just so that Google, when it indexes it, knows that this is an actual AI generated image. And I think that brings up another question as to how is Google going to handle all of this content and imagery that's being created by AI? Is it something that they're going to just lump it in with what they've already been using, or are they going to require new SEO requirements in the future? That I don't have an answer for you yet.
I wanted to bring up another question from the chat. Mark asks, what is the best way to write code using AI for a local business, attaching the Google business profile to the website and so forth?
Yeah, so with any Google business profile, there are 3 key identifiers. There's your customer ID, your business ID, and your knowledge graph ID. And so what I've done is I went to, and I can share screenshots later. I don't have them prepared for our meeting, but I have actual screenshots where I went in and I said, hey, I want you to create a custom line, a custom meta property for this Google Business Profile CID. And then I would just copy and paste the CID into the prompt. And it literally generated the meta property right there in front of me. I didn't even have to test it. And I did that for each one of those identifiers. So one for the CID, one for the BID, one for the knowledge graph ID. And I went in. Now I do a lot of custom coding. So I was able to actually go in and hard code those 3 identifiers. And I usually include that information within the head tag, right? So most SEO coding is going to be within that head tag, but make sure and get it before the ending head tag. That way you don't run into any errors. But that's how I've been doing it. I'd say one of the other interesting things about artificial intelligence is content. So a lot of business owners that I run into, for years, I've strongly recommended video marketing, and I get a lot of pushback on that because they're like, it's too expensive, I don't have the staff, I don't have the resources, it's just out of the picture for me. And there's several different softwares out there. I prefer Synthesia, but I've been able to actually cultivate a lot of videos for my clients where otherwise they would never have used video. And in terms of that, people were like, well, how can I leverage this video? What can I do to, to make it more visible? And I'm always going to utilize YouTube, right? So I always recommend YouTube. Take that same video, put it up there, optimize it, complete all your settings, and also using it across social media.
It's so much interesting now. What you can put a video, and I think Peggy did that experiment. So we have a lot of experiments with content creation in our group, and we even put a video and generate text briefing for journalists, audio play. It's so much interesting. But I have a quick question. Should website owners be worried about bots scrambling their content? Should they block? For example, Google is also doing a lot of the bots visiting the sites. So if you have a search of, for example, your website has 2,000 monthly visitors, and you suddenly have bots like 20,000, should you block those?
I personally would recommend blocking them. That has been an issue recently because of all the interesting things that are happening with artificial intelligence. I primarily, for me and my clients, I like to make sure that the search metrics are from actual users. Just because when you have bots going in and pinging websites, it can throw those metrics off, and you're not really getting a clear, visible understanding of the users. And I think that goes back to Google's search algorithm about, having a user-friendly website, making sure that content is accessible, making sure that it's indexable, and just making sure you have an overall healthy website for SEO.
Thank you.
Sure.
Peggy, you got a question? Otherwise, I'm gonna ask one if you don't. So.
For sake of time, I am going to pass the floor to you, Bob, because we could ask questions all day.
Okay, I'm just going to do a short one. Molly, does the average web page poster need to basically delve into coding, or can we just be kind of, for lack of a better word, ignorant and just concentrate on content? Would we still have a chance to rank taking that kind of a strategy?
Yeah, so most business owners and clients that I've worked with, they have a basic understanding of what SEO is, but not a very broad understanding. And so normally, if you're a business owner and you want to incorporate SEO or AI SEO, I would recommend working with an SEO professional, just because you want to make sure if you're creating content, sure. If you're creating a video, yeah. If you're creating images, sure. Even, keyword research, if you want to include keywords on your website, or if you want to, maybe generate a few paragraphs of content, sure, the average business owner can do that. But when it comes to the actual SEO coding, like coming up with custom meta properties, I would recommend working with the SEO professional.
Okay, thank you, Molly. Will you share the slide you prepared for today to have it on screen before you close? So we are
Absolutely.
we have orientation to close the session already, and you can click slide share up on the right, so it can expand. Slideshow, I mean, slideshow.
Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes, perfect.
good.
So we will also include it in our overview article after the show. Peggy, I also have the chat open. Any other questions, or we will close the session?
I think it's a great session today. Really interesting discussion, and I don't see any new questions in the live chat.
Yeah, we will continue this conversation because it has so many details that we can continue. Please, let's comment below the video because we can add links and examples. And in the article, you will find also takeaways like links and tools. Molly will share precisely, and we will have more sessions starting 2025.
Absolutely.
And more experiments to document.
I think
Yes,
what's
Molly?
most interesting about this concept is it's so new. It's so brand new because, like I said, I've been doing this for 15 years, and never in a million years would I've ever thought that there would be technology available that would use artificial intelligence, much less in search engine optimization. And what's interesting for me is just to sit back and watch it evolve, right? It's amazing to me on, SEO personalization, using artificial intelligence to improve search rankings, using artificial intelligence to do analysis. And what I really like is it's very beneficial. A lot of my clients are very visually based, right? So I can produce a report on an Excel spreadsheet and I send it to them. They're like, what am I looking at? Just like, this is too much. I don't understand what this is. But, being able to utilize artificial intelligence to take, say, Core Web Vitals or Search Console results and being able to visualize it, I think is a game changer because it makes it a lot easy for clients and people to understand, this is what we're doing with your SEO efforts.
I wanted to close the conversation with the fact that we are using artificial intelligence in any tool now. For example, in Google Meet right now, we have the transcript, we have live streaming. We have artificial intelligence in each Google tool, like Google Vids, just released. It's like Hogwarts, like the book for Harry Potter. You go into the slide and you start explaining. I already did for my clients. It's amazing to use those tools, and there are so many nuances and details. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Thank you, Molly, for being our speaker today and hosting this. You can stop sharing so people can see you and us too. And next Sunday, we have 3 tips for 10 minutes at the same time. Then on the 24th, I'll be hosting the chat conversation around Google Workspace. Of course, that's what I'm passionate about this year. And then on the 1st of December, we have our community event, which is Commitment 2025. We have the draft ready, so save the date. 1st of December is a very exciting date for us, like committing for the new year already. And thank you for watching today.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.